Top 10 things you may not know about Raid, starting now. What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here, and today we're looking at the top 10 things you might not know about Raid. Now, if you're new to this game, then all 10 of these you might not know, so these might be surprising to you. But I think even if you played this game for a while, yeah, some of these might surprise you. So let's look at the top 10 things that you might not know about Raid. So number one, we start off with my boy Rosin. He is a permanent fusion and absolutely worth it, 100%. He's an old school champ, he's a legacy champ, but you know what? He does not understand the meaning of power creep. He is absolutely awesome, even right now, wherever you want to use him. You want to use him in Clan Boss, you want to use him in Doom Tower, you want to use him in dungeons, anywhere, he is absolutely awesome. So what might you not know about Rosin? Well, let's take a look at his A1. So here we have Bone Sword. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Has a 20% chance, bookable to 45%, of removing one random buff from the target. So the way his A1 reads, it makes it seem like if you use his A1 one time, you have one chance of removing one buff. But it doesn't work like that. Basically, every hit of his triple hitting A1 has that chance to remove a buff. So if you use this A1 one time, you can actually remove 3 buffs from the enemy. So a triple hitting A1 with the chance to remove up to 3 buffs makes Rosin's A1 one of the best in the game. And his other moves are great as well. This isn't a Rosin showcase, but honestly guys, if you haven't yet, fuse him. He is absolutely worth it. Number 2 on our list is how to exit the clan boss without losing your key. So the way Clan Boss used to work is that it used to take a key, that is, use up a key, right when you pushed start. That's it. So whether or not you finished the run or there was some bug in the game and you didn't get to complete the run, because you pushed that start button, you used up a key. Now the way it works is that once you complete a run or you confirm an exit, now the key is consumed. Okay, once again, if you complete the run now, or you confirm an exit, now the key is consumed. So just pressing start will not consume a key. So the question is, let's say I did not set up my clan boss right, or I'm just experimenting. How can I exit the clan boss without consuming my key? So I'm gonna show you how. So here I'm gonna start the clan boss off. Now, once again, we do not want to confirm an exit. So let me show you what that is. So confirming an exit would be something like this, pushing X, and it says, are you sure you want to exit the game? I do not want to do this. This will consume a key, all right? So what do? I simply push X. So I'm gonna close the window. That's it, I'm not gonna confirm anything. Now when I push X, yes, that confirmation box will pop up again, but I'm not gonna touch it. So X, 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 there you go. You have closed the window and you have not consumed a key. So here you can see I'm back in the game and I still got my key. So how do you do this on mobile? All you're gonna do is swipe that window away. That's it. Once again, don't confirm you're exiting the game, just swipe the window away. All right guys, on to number 3, and it's gonna involve the big boy here, Solas. So right now, Solas is my primary arena nuker. So why is this? Is it because I don't have Trunda? No, I have 2 Trundas. So why do I still prefer Solas? Well, firstly, he is void, so he doesn't get an affinity disadvantage against anybody. With Trunda, she does. You have to watch out for certain affinities. So for Solas or any void, you don't have to, which is great. Number 2, Solas works better with Sifi because Sifi does not put attack up on everyone. Sifi puts defense up on everyone. And Solas's damage output is based on defense. So it works really well with Sifi. Plus the survivability, the tankiness. Solas is a self-shielder, so not only can he output a good amount of damage, he can also protect himself with that self-shield, and it makes a huge difference as well. So what might you not know about Solas? Well, let's look at his A2 here, Wave of Despair. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance to remove a buff. Places a provoke debuff for 1 turn if a buff is removed. So the cool thing about this is that I have seen this remove more than 1 buff. Now, I'm not talking about 3 hits on one person, the same person, and each hit removing 1 buff. I mean 1 hit of this triple hitter removing more than 1 buff, which is pretty cool because that means that this skill works better than the description reads. So can each hit completely remove all buffs from the enemy? I'm not sure. I haven't really tested this against enemies stacked with 10 buffs to see if one hit removes all 10 buffs. But I can say for certain that each hit of this triple hitter will remove more than one buff from the enemy. Another reason why Solas is a stud. Alright guys, number 4 is going to be that even after you push auto, you can still target specific enemies. I'm sure all of you guys know by now that pushing auto does not mean that the AI is going to act in the smartest fashion, right? So there may be a reviver that you guys don't target and you're in this infinite cycle of reviving, or maybe there's a threat on the other team which is the highest threat, and your team for whatever reason does not target the highest threat character. So how do you target someone after you've pushed the auto button? All you're gonna do is simply tap on them. So on mobile, yes, just simply touch them with your finger. And on PC, you're gonna click on them with the mouse. You're gonna see this red X underneath them. That means they are being targeted by your team. So let's say you don't like that shady Royal Huntsman hiding out in the background there and you wanna kill him first. Well, we're gonna push auto and then target him. Now, at any time you can tap Royal Huntsman again to take the targeting off and move it on to somebody else, or if he dies, everyone's just going to go back to auto. But here we're going to go with the auto and target him. So look at that red X underneath him. It means he's being targeted. We can take it off him, so the red X here is not on him anymore, and we can target somebody else as well, or you can just let everything go on auto, and once that targeted person is dead, everything is just going to go back to default for the auto. Alright guys, number 5 is going to be a trick to delay getting your daily rewards. So guys, you start the game and hypothetically you see that red dot and that left tab and you know it's time to get those daily rewards. And you see the red dot on the daily login rewards. Now I know it's not here, but let's just imagine, right? Because you want to see what you're going to get. So you see, and let's say it's one of those days where you get that 400 energy. But your energy is already full. You don't want to get that energy at that particular moment. Because if you push X, you're going to get that energy. All right? But you don't want it at that particular time. You want to save it. So how do we exit this without getting that daily reward? So we're going to do the same thing that we did for the clan boss to not consume a key. We're simply going to close the window. Now on mobile, just swipe the window away. Here we're going to close the window without confirming an exit. So we're going to come up to this X and just exit it. Not confirm the close, just keep on pushing X. And when you re-enter the game, you'll have those login rewards waiting for you. Alright guys, number 6 is going to be how you pronounce this dude's name. So for years, pretty much everybody, especially in the content creator community, was pronouncing this guy's name as Kale. So just one syllable, Kale, that's it. Well, I guess this is wrong. So Plarium in their video, What's Next in Raid, episode 3, dropped an absolute bomb on everybody as far as how to truly pronounce Kale's name. Listen in.
First off, everyone's favorite snarky elf gained another level in badass. If you're like the original Kale.
Kyle. Not Kale, Kyle. So how did the community respond? Well, unfortunately, Plarium lost a ton of players because of this new pronunciation. The revenue was down immediately following this video, I think about 59%, and we actually lost a few content creators because of this. I myself went through a deep depression for a few weeks following this. I wasn't creating content, wasn't talking to friends, barely ate. This was a tough blow. I just kept on thinking how foolish I must have looked all these years mispronouncing this guy's name. Unforgivable. I said I wouldn't cry. Damn it, stop crying! On to number 7. Did you know turn meters go above 100%? So those yellow bars underneath the gray and green health bars are those turn meter bars. So those are indicating who is going next. So after my Kaimar here, who has the most filled yellow bar, that is turn meter bar, is going to be the Duchess here. You see that is pretty much 100%. Well, the true turn meter actually extends beyond that visible yellow bar area. So a full turn meter, that is a full yellow visible bar, does not necessarily mean that character is going to go next. Let me give you a few examples. So take, for example, Sifi here. So her A3 revive revives a single ally with 55% HP and a full turn meter. What Plarium means by full turn meter here is full visible turn meter. So that yellow bar is going to be full. But once again, that does not mean that this person actually has a maximum turn meter. because the true turn meter extends beyond the yellow visible area. So if you have Sifi, you know just because you revive somebody, and supposedly they're revived with a full turn meter, does not mean they're taking their turn next. So the same thing goes with Raglan and her A3 revive here. Notice revives an ally with 75% HP and a full turn meter. This full turn meter means full, that visible yellow area. That does not mean the character revived is going to take their turn next necessarily. And guys, I have both these champs. I know, all right? When you revive somebody, it does not necessarily mean they're taking their turn next. So is there anybody that revives champs with an absolute maximum turn meter that is beyond the visible yellow area to its true maximum? Yes, there is. And she is Cardinal. So here, check out her A3, revives all dead allies, heals them by 25% of their max HP, and boosts their turn meter to max. To max means to max, beyond the yellow visible area, to the maximum. 100% absolutely full. So that means whoever she revives, they will take their turns next, guaranteed. For Sifi and Raglan, it is not guaranteed. For her, it is 100% guaranteed. Number 8, did you know that Plarium is owned by a gambling company, Aristocrat Leisure? So what you may not know about Aristocrat Leisure is that they literally make gambling machines. So here I am next to one of their gambling machines. Yes, that is my thumb there. And down at the bottom, you will see Aristocrat here. So here I am next to a few more Aristocrat gambling machines. So they tend to be more of these generic themed gambling machines like you see here. They're not the Sex and the City gambling machine, Walking Dead gambling machines, Willy Wonka gambling machines. They're not those type. So you're gonna see them usually with a more generic theme. So yes, the same company that makes these machines are the ones that own Raid. So no wonder there are so many comparisons with Raid to gambling. Number 9 is going to be how you potentially recover your account if you get hacked. So if you get hacked one day, which I hope doesn't happen, Plarium is going to ask you for your player ID. That is the account number that is linked to your specific account. Now, it's not necessarily the email, because if someone hacks your account, they're going to change your email. So giving Plarium your email might not help that much, but your player ID will help. So I'm going to show you how to get there. So from here, go ahead and click on your icon. And here it's going to be in the info tab. Now, I'm not going to click it right now because I don't want to give you my player ID, but that is your account number. That is what you need to give Plarium to make sure that you can get your account back. So guys, make sure that you keep your player ID once again in that info tab somewhere safe. Copy and paste it, because that will never change. No matter how many emails change on that account, that player ID will never change. And once again, that's what you need if you want to get your account back if one day, unfortunately, you do get hacked. All right, guys, 10th and last is that position matters in Raid. And I'm not just talking about the first position where you get the aura. I'm talking about some advanced concepts in positioning. So in particular, when you get hit with a big AoE, your whole team actually does not get hit at the same time. Now, it's not perceptible to our eyes, but actually it follows an order. So here, the leader will get hit first with this AoE. Second, the second position, then the third position, then the fourth position. So why does this matter? So take, for example, somebody like Seeker here with his passive, which will apply an increased defense buff, strong version, to all his allies when he gets hit with a crit. Well, let's say you put him in the lead spot, right? Your team gets hit with a big AoE. Remember, Seeker is getting hit first, right? It's imperceptible, but he is getting hit first. When he gets hit with that crit, which will happen a lot in Arena, now he applies that increased defense to the rest of your team before they get hit with the rest of that AoE. So that is the cool thing about positioning. Once again, Seeker gets hit first, but because AoEs hit one by one, going in order, he can apply that increased defense to the rest of your team before they get hit with that AoE. So really, Seeker or somebody like him with a passive like his would be the worst in the last spot, because they get hit last and they apply that increased defense, but it's after everyone on your team has gotten hit already. So whether it's the first, second position, whatever, early on in the positioning for your team, it's better to put somebody like Seeker in, so we can apply that buff before everyone is finished getting hit with that AoE. So here's another great example of somebody to put early in your positioning, and this is Krisk the Aegis. So check out his passive right here. The thing that we're really concerned about here is that he puts that decreased attack or decreased defense. Now, depending on who's attacking you, their damage may be based on defense or attack. So Krisk has you covered either way. But imagine, for example, we put Krisk in the lead position, right? And the enemy is hitting us with a big AoE. Once again, they're going to hit us in order. Now, that first hit of the AoE is going to hit Krisk. So what's Krisk going to do? Apply either decreased defense or decreased attack. So that decreased defense or decreased attack is applied to the AoE before it hits the rest of your team, which is awesome because now the rest of your team is hit with an attack that is nullified to a certain degree by decreased defense or decreased attack. So Krisk would be another person which would be great to put early in the positioning. Now, you might not put him first in your positioning because he does not have an aura, but maybe second, right? So 2 other people behind Krisk that you want to protect, less tanky people. But similar with Seeker, you want to put Krisk in one of the earlier positions, 1 or 2. You don't want to put Krisk in the last position because he will apply that that decreased defense or decreased attack after everybody has been hit with those AoEs. So the more early on in the positioning, the better. All right, guys, just to reiterate, make sure you put your champs like Krisk and Seeker in the early positions. So position 1 or position 2, right? So once you put them in those positions, then early on in the AoE, they can apply their debuffs or buffs before 2, 3, and 4 get hit. And once again, the worst positions to put Krisk, Seeker, characters like that in would be the last position because everyone has gotten hit already before they apply their buff or debuff. So once again, early on, position 1 or position 2. All right, guys, that is it for today. I hope some of these things are new to you. And guys, help me out. If there's any secrets or things that are really obscure that you know about Raid, let me know in the comments. And also let me know how many of these that you actually knew. Are these new to you or are they not? Did you know them all? If you knew them all, then yeah, you're probably a veteran to this game. If you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on all notifications, and I will see you in the next video.